Welcome again to my channel. This is Flookiesden, and this video is actually to address some things. And I know that for most people that are desiring to come this way, I know that most of the time within a couple, it is always, most of the time, that's why I'm stressing this, most of the time it is always the wife that is interested in moving abroad. And I always ask the question, why? Most of the time the men are not interested in moving abroad, and that's why I want to address this in this vlog. And let's talk to ourselves, let's understand the reason why. If you're new here, you're welcome. I make vlogs about helping new immigrants navigate a new country when they decide to move abroad. I share mistakes that they need to avoid. I also create some settlement programs that help them to be able to settle well in a new country. I review budget stores and bring some things your way that help you find settlements a breeze when you come this way. I share so many things and then help you just not to make those mistakes that new immigrants will make when they come to a new land. At least give you a step ahead of the game. So if this channel sounds interesting to you, keep watching and let's dive into our topic for today. So let's ask ourselves this frank question. Why do men really not desire to move abroad when it comes to immigration? Well, I'm speaking from my own African point of view. I don't know how it operates in other countries, but I've realized that most of the time the cost to move abroad most of the time steers from the women, the wives. And this is not saying that the men don't desire a good change or they don't desire a better place for their children to grow up, because most of the time, let's tell ourselves the truth, this immigration journey is mostly about the children, giving them a better opportunity that didn't exist or didn't look like existing in the current country that you're probably in right now or you moved away from. It depends on where you are watching me from. As these women obviously desire to move, the husbands too desire to move, but there's always a problem in the mix that makes them resist that move. And I see a lot of husbands sending their wives abroad to go stay with the children, and they begin to shuttle back and forth without a concrete plan to actually stay back with them in Canada or even in the US or in the UK, wherever abroad means to you. And this really begs for concern. And I want to share a few things here that I know that really pulls men back. And I want us to look inwards and decide. I know as breadwinners, we feel we are comfortable where we are. It's good if you're comfortable, but is the new country somewhere to desire? Is it a better place that gives you a wholesome settlement opportunity for your household? Then you need to begin to think about these things before you actually close that door for you moving abroad. And I know no one for the African setting is actually the part of the men feeling that they will be at the mercy of their wives when they come abroad. I get it. Here in Canada, the women almost always take the upper hand when it comes to government really caring for them and watching their back. Yes. But in Africa, men are the ones that are in charge, you know what I mean? Men are the ones that call the shots. And in a particular family, it all boils down to the home, and where a situation whereby the home is not really standing very well, and I say this with caution, it becomes a problem for the men because they know that they won't be able to hold their family the way they want to when they move abroad. We need to understand that the home is the bedrock of every family. And if you try to move abroad, even Canada promotes, family ties. They want families to come together. They want them to live together. They want them to enjoy the amenities together. And that's why they promote, even if you're coming here to study abroad, they want you to bring your family at some point. You are immigrating. They want you with your family. They want to build that bond. And even for that's why they also promote the parents and grandparents immigration program. They just want family to stay together. And of course, when family stays together, it has to be a family that is really in a good union. And this begs for concern, and I want men to actually look inwards and evaluate how they run their homes, or how they have put their home in that space, so that it's not shaky for them to feel concerned when they move here. I know that for women, you see so many stories that we hear that women, when they come here, they take charge, especially when they earn more. It's always a problem in the home. The women always don't want to listen to their husbands anymore, and because they always have the backing of the government, they just go extra. But it's not all women. It's not all women. And this also goes back to the home front, whereby I ask these questions when these things come to me, or when these kind of questions come to me, and I say, how do you run your home back, even in your own home country? Are you someone that actually takes full control without letting your wife take any part in discussion, or taking part in all the decisions that has to go with the home? Because that's where it starts. And when you lord things over a woman will always break at one point, and they feel it's an opportunity for them, because they find the government support here to be able to rescue them. But try and mend what needs to be fixed at home first, so that there's no cause for alarm when you move here. There are many homes, and I mean many homes, that are thriving here with no cause for concern. You don't even hear their voice, because life is happening easily. I'm not saying that homes are perfect, don't get me wrong, but they just find means to be able to collaborate better and be able to work things out. Whoever earns more, whoever does the spending more, as long as it's a home, it's meant to be a tie that works well for the family. So this goes to show one reason why men always run away, and they don't want to come to abroad. They don't want to come to the UK, to Canada, to the US, because they don't want to be put at second fiddle when it comes to their home matters. So they decide, especially when they are doing well, it's okay, they want to shuttle. But that does not help to build up the family, because the family union is encompassing. So if a woman is left alone to build up a family, or the children to nurture them, when the man is not dead, so where is the place of the father figure even in the home? So men need to look at all these things. It's not only for provision. Moving your family abroad, even when you have the means, is not only because of provision. There's also the part of nurture. There's also the part of that father figure, that the children look up to when they move abroad. So this is one reason that men need to, take cognizance of and ask these questions and begin to work on. I know I've also mentioned part of the second reason would be, there are many opportunities here that anybody can earn more than anybody. As women can earn more than the men, even though I don't know where it's written in the Bible that men should be the one, earning more. The Bible, God just says that men should, take care of their household. They are the breadwinner, right? They are the one that is in charge. The man that does not take care of his house is as worse as an infidel. And the woman is meant to support, irrespective of income, because the Bible did not say it is the woman that should earn more, the man that should earn more. But there's this concern when the woman earns more in a home, more than the husband. Especially in a place like this too, they just feel the woman stops submitting, the woman stops responding positively, the woman. And I still also would go back to the home, the foundation of the home, and how you have actually nurtured and built up this home. Everything would, begin to break down when there's a problem from the foundation. How have you built it? Have you made things difficult? Sometimes in homes too, even men, despite being the breadwinner, despite being the one that brings most of the income, they still don't get the input of the wife in decision making, because she doesn't have money. She doesn't have a say. And that breaks down even, building up a home. So I won't say Canada has made it worse for the women to have a voice. I won't say Canada has made it worse to be able to kind of have the back of the women. But it just opens that gap that has been created even from the family home front. And this needs to be fixed. So men, begin to work on these things. Canada has made this place home for the family, not just for the women and the children. So as you begin to look at sending your children or your family here, also begin to look at you coming along with them, because it also helps build the unity and the bond of relationships here in Canada. In fact, when you hear people say they are lonely, when you hear people say it's not easy, it's part of that plan. Because if you are here as a single person without a spouse or without a child, even if you are not married, it is lonely. It is lonely. You know the way things roll when we are amongst our people back at home. But here, so many contributors are in place and begins to make things so lonely and difficult for people. How much more when you leave a woman with kids, 2 children, 3, 4, 5, to cater alone for, and then it's just a phone call to their daddy at home. That doesn't make it work. So this is just a call out for men to, begin to work on their homes, begin to find ways in which they can, mend those relationships where there are gaps, so that they can move with their family. In fact, I guess right now that the economy is getting tighter and tougher, the income that you make in Nigeria, for instance, let me use that because that's where I know, cannot sustain even paying your rent here in Canada. If you're going to be paying rent for your family here in Canada, so it becomes difficult, and that's why, honestly, it is better for you to make that decision to move with your family. Well, this is just a cry out for the women. I'm speaking on behalf of the women to the fathers or the husbands that are back in their home country to please consider these options and begin to plan to move with your family. It is better for you to raise your children up together. It is better for you to have that family union, that figure present in a home, than being abroad and nurturing your children. If this video has helped you, please share, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in another vlog. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.